Hello everybody, Hellcracks here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 379. And today we're going to be talking about the 40-ton Sentry. It's a kind of a, well, infantry support mech. Let's just put it that way. At least that's how I've ever seen it used. Alright, the Sentry, 40 tons. It's a 5.85, so it's got some mobility going for it. It has Indo steel, all right, and it has 1 point short of maximum armor, so 8.5 tons. So half a ton gains you 1 point. Basically, that goes on the center torso. Otherwise, everything else is maxed out, and really, you can live without 1 point. Usually, it's like unless you get hit one time and you're like, oh, if I wish I had 1 more point of armor. But you know, you can put it to better use elsewhere. Most likely. Alright, so weaponry on board. Well, it does have 10 double heat sinks. So, yes, we got Indo steel, we got jump jets, and we got double heat sinks. So, yeah, there's what's not like to like about that. At least it has some mobility. Now, you're going to find out why I consider this an infantry support mech here in a second. Alright, weaponry. We have 2 small pulse lasers in the right arm. Alrighty. We have 4 machine guns in the left arm with a ton of ammunition in the left torso with case. Alright, so at least they put case on board. And in the left arm we have a standard, bog standard PPC. And then we have a flamer in the head. And then we have the jump jets. We have 2 in the left and right leg, and then 1 in the center torso. Alrighty. Alright, so. Why do I consider this like a infantry support mech? Because, geez, you got 4 machine guns and a flamer. Nothing screams more, I'm going to obliterate infantry than having 4 machine guns and a flamer. Alright. Now, the only thing I kind of, it's like, okay, you put double heat sinks on board this thing, and then you have, well, you got 2 pulse lasers, 2 small pulse lasers. Obviously those go out to 3, but then you have a standard PPC to go with that. All right, now there's multiple ways of the way I kind of look at things when it comes to looking at anti-infantry. Yes, you got conventional infantry, and then you got battle armor, and which are infantry. Your machine guns, which against conventional infantry, you got 4 of those things, and a flamer. Any infantry platoon is going to disappear if you hit them with this thing. You know, it's like 4 machine guns. That's a bucket load of dice when it comes to doing damage. And it's the same thing with the flamer. So you just kind of look at it, oh, okay, I'm going to go, oh, I got that, you know, add it all together, have the number of hits you make, and then just throw a bucket of dice at them and say, all right, that many are obliterated off the table. So, yeah. And with a mech that has maximum armor, almost 99% maximum armor, it can take hits from infantry, especially conventional infantry. Now, you may not want to get too close to your basic battle armor. You might want to stand offish a bit, but you know, when it comes to that, you're still going to hurt them a little bit. You could knock down a point pretty quickly, especially if you're doing some damage with that PPC as they're coming up. It's like, bam, here, they take 10. Bam, you take 10. Oh, you can have 10 there. And then when you get in close and you just rock it with the machine guns and the flamer, so you can do some damage against them. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is I'd rather have had an ER PPC, get a little more range, and then if you want to get into their face, especially if you're facing off against battle armor, I rather have an ER PPC, so I don't have to worry about those minimum ranges. So when you're in range with those machine guns and that flamer, you can do some damage. Obviously, you're probably going to be throwing in the pulse lasers too, so you're going to be going up in the heat scale, but you got the jump jets, so you got 5, so you may be after you do a barrage against a point of battle armor, you probably be sitting roughly a 4.65, so you're probably better off jumping out of the area and get behind some cover, cool off a little bit, and then go back at them again and hammer them down with that ER PPC that you may have swapped out for the standard PPC. So you kind of see what the way I'm looking at things here. That's kind of how I would like to operate with this thing. You know, but with a battle value, was it 1069? That's not bad. It's going to have its purpose. So if you got a formation, and say you're going to have a few tanks, you're going to have some conventional infantry, maybe some battle taxis running around with you, and you're facing off maybe some units that have battle taxis themselves with some conventional infantry riding around on board, and maybe you even have some of those kind of crazy Omni vehicles that may be running some battle armor with them. You never know. So you might want to hammer them down a little bit before you even get close. But a mech like this is better suited to doing that kind of stuff. That, you know, you're going to have some basic running around with some your vehicles, whittling down some armor, battle armor too. But if they are running just standard conventional infantry, you could probably obliterate one platoon a turn. You know, they may be running 8 platoons, but in 8-10 turns, they may not have any infantry left after something like this. And you're probably going to be some damage. Parts of you may be tore up, but, you know, you're going to be doing a good job against them. That's the important thing. And you're probably going to be running with all your friends and the lances. So this could be a formation leader for your conventional infantry. Yeah, that's kind of like how I envision this thing being designed and used. So there's that. So otherwise, when it comes to the Sentry, the standard version that you see in the book right here, I'm happy with it. You know, it's like, other than one minor change of taking the PPC off and then replacing with an ER PPC, hey, there you go. Some individuals may even consider swapping that PPC out for a large pulse laser, inner sphere. I'm not a big fan of the inner sphere large pulse laser, just for the reason that, you know, the ranges kind of suck. You know, but, you know, you get some damage output with it. But, yeah, you get the minuses. So you could always look at it, if you go that route and you want to have it a city fighter and rooting out infantry and buildings and stuff. Yeah, this one would probably do a very good job if just by swapping out the PPC for a large pulse laser. And then you're going down that route. So the ranges aren't going to be too detrimental to you. You know, I could see that happening too. So just some minor changes with the standard version. Now, there's another version out there. Let me see here. Where's it at? This is the WS version. Now, this one was introduced during the Jihad. Oh, all hail the word of Blake. The major changes this one, they put a light fusion engine on board. They got a heavy gyro. All right. And then it has light ferrofibrous armor for upgrading, you know, saving a little bit of weight here and there. And then all the weapons were been removed, except, and then you have a large variable speed pulse laser. Now, those weigh more, so, but the damage output's good, and you're going out to, what's it, 15, I believe. So it's kind of like having a large laser, but almost twice the weight. So, yeah, you think about that, you know, like, maybe it'd been better off just going with the standard large pulse laser and then keeping some of that tonnage for other goodness. Now, the other thing it's carrying around is a pair of mag shots, which are like very small Gauss rifles. They shoot out to 9 and they'll do 2 points of damage. And if you hit the mag shot, launcher explodes for 3 points of damage. So I'm not a big fan. I'd rather keep some of that anti-infantry capability instead of running with the mag shots, because I can't find anywhere where the usefulness of the mag shot other than range. I looked at different books and stuff, and I don't see if they're trying to make the mag shot like an AP Gauss rifle. You'd be better off going with an AP Gauss rifle instead. You're getting some anti-personnel capability with those at least. And then we have a pair of ER medium lasers. All right, so those go out to 12. And then it also retains the case in case the mag shots explode in your face. All right, so this comes in 1143 battle value. Overall, I'm not really enamored with this version at all. It's like I just don't see the usefulness of it. Some other individuals may find it. Now, the variable pulse laser may be useful overall when it compares to the standard, maybe PPC, but you're using up a lot more tonnage to get that -2 out to. And the other thing is the damage output with a variable pulse laser varies. Let me check it out here. It's like, let's see here. Long range, all right, it goes out to 15. Long range, it does 7 points of damage. You do 9, which is your kind of your standard. Out to 8 range, you're going to be doing 9 points of damage. So you're falling now into the look of the standard large pulse laser for the Intersphere. And then when you get in close as 4 and less, then you're doing 11 points of damage. So getting in someone's face, obviously you're going to be doing a better job of cranking out some damage. All right, so yeah, okay. There's some usefulness of it there. I kind of like that whole thing where you can shoot out to distances and everything. But it comes at the cost of an extra 2 tons compared to a standard Intersphere large pulse laser. So the heat output of that is 10. So with the 2 ER lasers and the variable pulse laser, you're doing 20, and if you fire the 2 mag shots, that's 22, and if you run, you're doing 24. So you can do that for 1 turn without having to worry about too much detrimental things to you. But yeah, I just like, would I be using the mag shots? Or I'm the type of person that would probably rip those things off and just return back to the 4. You get the explosion possibility because it still carries the case on board in the same torso. The only thing they changed was, putting the mag shots up there in the arm. So, yeah, I'd probably had gone with either keep it a flamer and then half a ton of machine gun ammo and then a couple machine guns. Go that route. Yeah, you're going to have shorter ranges, but you can shoot some fire out there and kill some standard infantry, start fires, or just cook vehicles. Go that route that way. And to me, that'd be more useful than having the 2 mag shots. Now, if you have some other ideas on that, let me know. Just put it down below and see how you guys use the mag shots. But I just don't see the usefulness. Sometimes they put stuff on board just to say, hey, we do have these weapons. And there you go. You got some options with it, But other than what I've said, I think the standard conventional version, just swapping out the PPC for an ER PPC or a large pulse laser, depending on your environment you're going to be fighting in. Because if you're fighting in a city fight against conventional infantry and vehicles and stuff like that, and the ranges are short, I think I'd rather have the large pulse laser might be useful. Or an ER PPC, because yeah, you're cranking out 15 heat, and you got those 2 small pulse lasers which would crank your heat up to 19, and depending on how you move, yeah, there's options there. But at least your damage output would be a little better. And you can get into somebody's face and still use that heavy weapon you're carrying around without any detrimental effects of, hey, I got minimum range problems. Crap. You know, that type of thing. So that's it. That is the Sentry in a nutshell. Not a bad little mech. I find it useful, especially it's got some decent speed. And it's going to be, I'm going to be using something like this for my conventional organization. You know, if you're running around with infantry or fighting off against infantry, it's going to have some uses. I just put it out there. And yeah, you're going to have some problems maybe hitting with the machine gun ammo, because you could probably go the same route of dropping the machine gun ammo down to a half a ton and then put on another machine gun or a ER small laser or something of that nature. You know, there's plenty of options. Heck, imagine this thing if you put triple strength armor on board too. Thoughts that go through my head. All right, so that's it. That's the Sentry in a nutshell. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Greg's out.